Okay, this is the HP spectrum analyzer that I've picked up from work that's been out of calibration. It failed when one of the engineers was using it. Display went blank, and I've taken it apart and fixed the problem. There was a leaky capacitor in the power supply. Had blown the fuse. It hadn't blown catastrophically. It just popped the fuse. You could just see the fuse had actually broken. It hadn't gone black or anything like that, so it wasn't a catastrophic failure or anything like that. I bought it back on Friday. It's Monday now, and then realised that I hadn't got one of the cables, and went back to work to see if I could find it. Couldn't find it anywhere. Anyway, we found the cable this morning, and I'm now going to power it up to see if it works. I've powered it up already, and it was working, but I didn't have there's a 5-pin D-type coax cable that connects on the back of the unit that transfers the data from the controller to the display. Now, I've had very little experience with spectrum analyzers. This one I've seen in use a couple of times, but it doesn't get used very often, or it didn't get used very often. So you'll have to bear with me. I'm not sure if it's going to work. As I say, it did blow a fuse, and it looked like it was just the power supply capacitor, but there may be more to it than that. So let's switch it on. Now, it is a bit damp in here, so I might have to turn it off if it starts cracking and flashing over. I've got the heater on, it should dry out. Wait for the display. Straight away, the display is different. I've got noise on the display, so that's a good start. I didn't have that before. The display is nice and bright, as you can see, nice, clear, sharp CRT. So the plan is to stick I'm running this Roden Schwartz, which is again started to give a few problems where looks like the power supplies, filtering caps need replacing. But I'm going to plug this into the generator. So what I'm going to do before I do that is, I think I need to set I'm running at 7.48 meg, so I'm going to set a center frequency of 7.48 megahertz and a sweep span of, straight away we've got something on the display, and a sweep span of, I don't know, 500 kilohertz, and I'm going to feed the signal into the and there we go. It works. It looks like it's absolutely working. Its center frequency is on. Let's move the signal generator. Well, that's brilliant. I'm really pleased with that. That looks like it's fine. There's a lot of noise on the floor here. Now, one of the engineers seemed to think that it was suffering from a lot of background noise, but I don't know if that's normal or not. If I disconnect the input, it's sort of there all the time. Let's turn the level down on the generator. It can clearly be seen down to a very low level, but that may be a calibration problem. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. I have a fiddle about some of these controls. I have no idea what I'm doing here, but this is looks like restricted bandwidth. Oh yeah, restricted bandwidth 10 kilohertz. You could probably change that. That's automatic, so it obviously turns the bandwidth control off. There's second displays as well. Max hold, clear right. Don't know what I'm doing here. Now somewhere. Now that's the max hold there. You can see that on the. Clear that. That's obviously a freeze mode. It's blank. That's our amplitude line by the looks of it. You see, we've got the oven's cold and the battery's low. We need a new battery in it. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. It certainly seems like it's working fine. Let's put some modulation on it and see what we get. Let's put some FM modulation on. There's your FM modulation. Seems to be working how you'd expect. Let's try some AM modulation. Well, that's excellent. It looks like it works. All I've got to do is try and get the hang of how it works. So you can actually widen the span up by, if our center frequency is 7.48 meg, so we make the span frequency of 100 kilohertz. I'd expect that to widen it up. Let's make its span frequency 1 meg. Span frequency 100 kilohertz. Oh, there's adjustable span. It certainly seems to work. I think this is doing what it's meant to do. It's also got this strange effect as where the screen gets dimmer as it warms up, which I don't really understand. That must be an HV drifting about. So what are these other controls here? Let's have a look, see what we've got. Frequency count. Okay. Well, there you go. That should spot frequency. 7.477. That's exactly what the Roden Schwartz thinks. So that looks good. The oven's still not up to temperature either, so it's pretty slightly inaccurate at the moment. You can see all the other equation information on the bottom line. I don't know what this VBW is. Also, I noticed that the noise levels drop back as it's warmed up a bit. And it's a sweep speed of 100 milliseconds to do a full, I think that's 100 milliseconds per division. There's a single sweep that freezes it. So you press it again and it sweeps again. We've got trigger levels here. Let's mess about with this. So that's line triggering. I assume triggering off the 50 Hz line, incoming line. Video. It's just the I don't know what that is. I think this pot's a bit noisy actually. Peak search. Be interesting to it's got markers as well. I need to go through the instruction book, but it certainly looks to me like it's working absolutely fine. Got a nice sharp display, so that all looks okay. Somewhere you can actually add second displays. So that's the second display running at the moment. Somewhere you can adjust the height of the, I think that's, what would that be? Well, I don't know. It certainly looks absolutely fine. I'll go through the manual and see if I can get some more information. I'm a bit concerned about this display. It seems to be getting dimmer as it warms up. I need to check voltages on the G1 and G2 of the CRT, I think, to make sure nothing's shifting about, but it's the intensity seems to move about when it's warming up. Anyway, thanks for watching. It should be a useful piece of kit.